Welcome. You are now watching The Great Listener. So there's an interesting video that I watched, and it was regarding a woman named Kendra. And she fell for her psychiatrist. She believes that he was pretty much leading her on and being hot and cold and telling her one thing and treating her another way. But deep down, she feels like they both had this chemistry for each other and that they actually really liked each other. And he was playing a game with her. She would give him compliments. She didn't say he gave her any compliments. She would send him emails with heart emojis and different things, and he wouldn't respond to any of them. He knew that he had in-person sessions, and he just opted for Zoom the whole entire time. And this is a therapeutic relationship that went on for around 3 years, maybe 3 or 4 years. And he never opted to say, hey, why don't you come in and meet me in person? She found out by going through his office manager, and she said, yeah, he does in person. And she felt furious because she's saying, why didn't you ever tell me that you do in-person sessions? She had dreams about him, told him about the dreams. As she went in, because she said, hey, you didn't tell me about in-person, so she went to the in-person sessions, and she started spiraling, liking him more and more. Mind you, in the midst of this, she had a couple of boyfriends and was talking to him, which seems to be a therapist slash client relationship. So she's telling him about her life and what have you. So I have many thoughts on this. Because her psychiatrist didn't make any advances toward her directly, and in my opinion, indirectly as well. He didn't make any advances at her. I think he was kind to her. He was respectful toward her and her life and the choices she made for her life. He was a great listener. Oh, great listener. Huh. See what I did there? I didn't even know I did that there. But he was listening. Maybe he wasn't a great listener, but he was listening. Do I know much about how involved the psychiatrist gets with therapy with their clients? I'm not too sure about that. I thought they usually just prescribe the meds, maybe do an intake or a few med evaluations, and that's it. But I'm pretty sure psychiatrists could also do like talk therapy if necessary. If the insurance allows it and the client says they want to do that, I don't see why he would say no to that money if he can help and support and be that psychiatrist that plays as therapist or what have you in her life. But what I'm getting is that the relationship was super professional. So I look at this situation, and Kendra has been going on TikTok, sharing her experience and saying how there are some bad actors out there. You need to watch out for psychiatrists, especially male psychiatrists, because they prey on their clients that come in there because they have this God complex and they just they don't have relationships. So they pry on their clients that come in and feed off of that. And it's like this whole story of what psychiatrists do based on her experience with her psychiatrist. Based on the experience of her being attractive to this man, her feeling valued by this man, which is still professional in his right to tell her things about herself that are going well, and taking a working relationship, professional situation, therapeutic relationship, and trying to create something else, something more intimate, something deeper by his kind words, something deeper from his attention and being attentive to what you're saying. And this just tells me a lot about us and humanity. I don't have anything negative to say about Kendra, but I will say that this happens a lot. Her situation is interesting um, because she believed that there was a mutual interest. And I don't think he believed that at all. I think he was just trying to do his job. From what she shared, from what I'm piecing together, sounds like he was trying to support her with her meds regulation, but also support her as a client coming in and speaking to her professional doctor. I realized like I have a therapist. I also have um, medical doctor, like my primary care doctor. Even when I take X-rays, right? There are nurses and doctors that are there that I talk to, and we have great conversation. There's no, and you know, I have a lot of women doctors that I talk to, but there's no way that I'm taking that situation and saying, you know what, they may like me. I may want to work on something like that. I'm like, no, this is, I recognize it for what it is. They're there to do a service. They're there to support me in a certain way. And I kind of get that relationship. I know that there's other human beings out there, women that I can date, court, and it doesn't have to be somebody that can jeopardize the professional relationship that we have. Mind you, it could happen. You know, you can end up having a real conversation with someone, and there can be a real mutual connection, and you guys take it from there. Like with a nurse or something that I was speaking to. But I think that is something that directly is saying, hey, let's get together, let's hang out, let's exchange numbers, let's talk, what have you. And in her situation, I didn't notice that. Um, so how did we get here? How did we get to a place where one person believes that they have this thing going on, and the other person is focusing on business as usual? They're doing their job. Um, let's see. So this was pretty challenging for me because they have a therapeutic relationship, and somehow it doesn't stay there for her. So that's why it's challenging for me to really touch on this issue, because I don't know how to explain the the understanding of a professional relationship versus a personal relationship. How they met wasn't in a personal setting. They met with A doing one thing and B doing one thing. One, A providing a service, B receiving a service that you need. That's what that is. And somehow it led into, hey, let me try to change this into a different type of situation. Let me make it more personal for me. And I think that's something she did because she felt valued. Humans want to feel valued. I don't want to confuse that. Humans want to feel valued. But just because you feel valued by somebody that's attractive or somebody you're attracted to doesn't mean that they like you, doesn't mean that they want to be with you. They're just being kind, being generous, or providing a service where they have to show understanding and caring because they care about their patients. They care about their clients. They want to see them successful. They want to see them do well. And that should be normal. What I noticed is a little bit of her weaponizing his kindness, his ability to listen well to her, as in him trying to draw her in a way. So I've come to the conclusion that some people they just believe in what is going to bring them comfort. And in this case with Kendra, she found comfort, like any human being, she found comfort in getting attention. ultimately by her psychiatrist. And like I said, that's by feeling valued. And I'm not going to say Kendra was delusional, but I will say that and I always say like many of us, because she's not alone in this. There are plenty of people out there right now that I know have probably watched what Kendra did and say, yeah, I went through that same thing. But I think it goes a little bit deeper. When we think about it, we say, hey, we felt that emotion. We felt betrayed before. We felt like that. These are things that we commonly feel as humans. When we feel valued by a person that we find attractive or is for us, and then they pull it away. Some people do this to harm you. Some people do this without even realizing they're doing that. Some people do it just because they pull away because they realize this isn't, we're seeing things differently. We're trying to figure out who we are. We're trying to figure out who is for me, who's not for me. So we all go through this thing of wanting what we want. And when we want what we want, sometimes we do this without recognizing that we are creating exactly what we experience, but we have the power to stop it. We are creating exactly what we are experiencing, but we have the power to stop it. Kendra had the power to stop it. I'm going to go a little deeper in that, but I want you guys to recognize we create the experience we want at times. Because he was attractive, he was intelligent, paying her attention. This was something she wanted. A guy that cared for her, seemed to be interested. She wanted what she wanted. She created an experience of, oh, we must be seeing the same things because he's doing his job well. She repeatedly said he's doing his job well. He's great at what he does. So she recognizes that, but she wants what she wants. And because she wants what she wants, this experience became more about, oh, he must have wanted this too, because she created that they both wanted each other. That was a creation of her own, because it actually wasn't the reality. If it was the reality, he would come out and say, hey, I feel that way too. He understands professionalism more than that. He said, hey, this is a professional relationship. And more than anything, she had the power to stop it. She could have said, this is a professional relationship. Should I even be flirting with this man that's providing the service for me after he shut down my emails, after he hasn't responded to the compliments I've given him? Maybe we stop here. But instead, because she wanted the thing that she wanted, she continued. She continued to create this web. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that web. So I want to create a rule here, and this is for everybody. This is a great rule that we can create. If you tell a man or a woman you find them attractive, let me step back. If you tell a man or a woman you find attractive that you are attracted to them, for years she was doing this. So if you tell them repeatedly, I am attracted to you, and they never directly compliment you back, do not, I repeat, do not create stories that tie their responses back to your desired want. I'm going to say it again. If you tell a man or woman you find attractive that you are attracted to them and they never directly compliment you back, do not create stories that tie their responses back to your desired want. So that means their response could be a little smirk. And you internalize that and say, oh, that smirk means he is interested in me. Or let's say you tell them you're interested and they and turn their head. You say, wow, they're just shy. You know, they really care. They're just being shy. Do not do that to yourself. Like I said, this is rule number 1. If you tell someone you find them attractive for years, you repeatedly do this, do not keep inching and finding ways to say, oh, yeah, no, they like me because of this. They like me because of that. No. If someone wants you in their life, they will say it first with their words and follow with their actions. Or they will show you actions first and follow up with their words. One isn't enough. You must look for both of those signs. I should call this rule number 2. So I'm going to say this one more time. If someone wants you in their life, they will say it first with their words and follow up with their actions, or they will show you first with their actions and follow it up with their words. One isn't enough. Just saying words isn't enough. Just showing action isn't enough. Because we can misunderstand that based on our perception of the person and how much we really want to be with that person. Our minds are beautiful, but our minds could be tragedy as well if we do not see things accurately.